What's up, buddy? Hello. Hey, guys. Hey, Imad, I need you to email me at stitchmethod@gmail.com. I got your messages, but it was too late to respond to you. So email me directly at stitchmethod, stichmethod@gmail.com. Okay, because you earned that pedal, man. You are the winner. All right, so there you go. Hey, Dan, what's up? Hello. I was gonna stop. Okay. All right, so let's just address something right off the bat. If you're watching this replay and you hate it, don't watch it. I get enough comments like, oh, why are you talking so much? Because there's people here. And I want to talk to them. This is the reason I'm going live. So really quickly, I'm just going to vent to you. You've probably seen, hey, Chris, what's up? Hey, Dan. I've had a long 3 weeks. It's been a crazy battle with health insurance companies. Holy moly, do they? I'm sorry if any of you work for them, but my God. Oh my God. Anyway, today was a great resolve. I'm not going to tell you all my troubles. Hey, Drew. Oh yeah, Don, I did get your text. I'm sorry you still have a touch of the flu. I will not see you tomorrow. And obviously, yes, I am going live tonight. Sorry. Yeah, so one more time. Imad, I-M-A-D, he won the contest. And if you remember from a couple of live feeds before, I had to find the winner, and it wasn't coming on my computer. And Kaylin, one of the subs here, took a screenshot, and you are the winner. So just email me, okay? Or message me again on YouTube, however you want to do it. And if you don't hear from me, this is yours. I'm going to ship right to you. So anyway, I had a very, very, very rough 3 weeks, and you probably saw like no Stitch Method videos. Pretty much, I think yeah, health insurance shysters. Yeah. You know, I don't know. Some of you see my wife in one of my videos, my Grateful Dead Franklin's Tower video. But her back is like terrible, and she's been in a lot of pain. It's been a lot of like me yelling at people. Anyway, we got it done. So there we go. Hey, Phil. So we got it done. That's it. We got it done. And that's that. So let's get to our lesson today. All right. So really quickly, I actually got 2 messages just about the Nashville scale. Now, some of you might know another super uber famous YouTuber by the name of Sean Daniel. And I'm sure he'll pop in sometime tonight, maybe on the live feed. And we did a video together. We did a video together about the Nashville scale, kind of poking fun how they took credit for this. Now, a basic Nashville scale, and again, I'm sorry if you guys do know this, but I just want to reboot it for a second because it's going to go into the lesson also of what is Joe learning. And so, which is my newest installment on my Stitch Method live feed for my student Joe. So Nashville scale looks like this. It's first fret of the B string and second fret of D string. And then 3 and 3. You're all going to play on the B and the D string. So it's I'm going to go from G string first to D string. So it's 1 and 2 or C and E to 3 and 3 to 5 and 5. Gotta do a switcheroo. That middle finger goes up to 7, and you got 6 and 7. And you have 8 and 8 and 9, 10 and 10, 12, 12, and back to 13 and 12. The octave. So you got this. All right. So, if some of you have caught this, I can tell by the lack of chat that you guys are actually grabbing your guitars, being like, "Oh, let's get on this." Okay, so I'll give you a second to get on that while I take a swig out of my Stitch Method mug. All right, and so the whole concept of this is like, what the heck is going on? And again, I apologize to some of you. Yes, those are Philip Walter just asked, are those double stops? And yes, a double stop is when you play 2 notes at a time. And so this is the infamous Nashville scale. Now, I'll tell you really quickly, for those who have seen my caged chord major and my caged chord minor videos, this will make a lot of sense. If you haven't seen it, watch them, and they will make sense. So what's really happening here is if I play a C chord, if I'm in the key of C, and I did this with Sean, but I'm just doing this to show you, again, just in case we missed this. I have a C chord. Look at these 2 fingers. That's the first 2 notes of the C. These 2 guys. Now, if you're in the key of C, you can play a couple of chords. C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor 7, or B diminished, excuse me, which actually I think it's just switched over to B minor in this guy. Doesn't matter. And back to C. And what's really just happening is you're just playing pieces of each of those chords. Here's a piece of a C chord. Now, again, if you've seen my my cage chord video, this brutal thing right here is a minor chord shape, which the root note is right there, okay? So it looks like 3, 2, 3, but if you look here, you just play the 3 and 3. You're playing just the pieces of it. So you'll have C major. You'll have, there we go. So I just got an email, sorry. So you have your C, you'll have your D minor. If you move this up 2 frets, this will be the E minor. Again, made famous by, not by me, for me, by Trey Anastasio in Sample and Jar when he used this chord. It was the first time I ever came across this when I was a young lad. So you have C, you have D minor, you have E minor, and then you're going to switch to this C-shaped chord type thing for, there the hell's your guitar playing? Stitch them up. Like that. And if you look, there's that 6 and 7. That's your F chord. It comes from the C shape. F chord, right there. So you have C chord, a D minor, an E minor. You have an F major. And then if you move this up, you have G major. Again, where the heck does this come from? It comes from the C-shaped G major chord. See? Same thing. And then you can get up here to your, oh my god, D minor, no, my god, A minor. It's been a long week. A minor. And usually in the Nashville scale, this would be, yeah, right here, the B minor. And then it'd be a flat 5. So there you go, B minor, and then C. Now, what do you do with this? Sorry, I'm just really tired and disheveled. But anyway, you guys deserve a live feed, so here we are. So, what you do with this is if you're playing something in the key of C, anytime you're playing in the key of C, a song in the key of C. Yeah, see, okay, so TTB fan just wrote 6th, and I did a lesson on 6th, like 6th question mark or those 6th, and the problem is like, I don't see them as 6th, they are just thirds. They're thirds. They're thirds. They're thirds of chords. It's a root, actually, yeah, it's a root. Let me make sure on this guy. No, this is a 5, a C, E, G. No, these are thirds. These are thirds, and like a 6th, I can get it, like E to C, okay, I can get it as a 6th, but why look at it like that? They're thirds. They're just called inverted thirds, okay? They're, yeah, Peace Train, right? They're inverted thirds, and I don't like the idea of 6 because they make you mentally just struggle, like, where's my 6 in this? So yes, thank you, Mod, for, I'm defunct today, I'm done. So now, if I'm playing something in key of C, you can solo, you know, here's a little crappy backing track at C. You can solo in C major, right? But now when you want to, you can throw in any piece of this. You can throw any piece you want in of this scale because it all goes together. It's all in the key of C. Oh, I'm looking at the screen. So it's like it's not a cheap trick. It's just they always go. So you can always kind of just pluck around on that Nashville scale. So that makes sense. It's just an easy thing if you're playing something in the key of C with C's, F's, and G's. When you take your solo, you can just play a little bit of a scale, and then you can kind of just walk on that Nashville scale and have fun. There is no right, there is no wrong, just do. All right, so before we move forward into what is Joe learning, any questions about the Nashville scale? Ugh, what a long week. Hello from North Carolina. How's the finger? Finger is totally healed. Well, I don't know if you can see how it's still like pink and raw. I don't want to get too close, but that whole pink raw section right there was literally gone with my hands. Is there anything like that for other chords, Garrett? I like it. Garrett, there is, and we're going to get to that in a couple seconds. Is that the same thing as 1/3 on 1 and 3rd string? I don't know. I'm way too tired to do that. Yes. What about the key of G? Of course. Of course. Of course, you can do it in any key, but the Nashville scale is in the key of C. In-depth lesson about meat stick. I was at the Oswego concert when they tried to put meat stick into the Guinness Book of World Records, and nobody really danced. So yes, can you play this with the blues? Sad stuff. Yes and no, but it's funny you bring that up. Is it E-mod or I-mod? E-mod. We'll say E-mod. Okay, so here we go with the dance, right? And nobody danced. So into the section of what Joe is learning. Now I don't know if Joe is here, but I have a student Joe, and my new installment in my live feed is What is Joe doing? Hey, David. All right. So Joe is learning some Chris Stapleton, who, let me tell you, Chris Stapleton is a great songwriter. He's got a great voice. I really do enjoy his music. There's something so like solemn about his writing, and it's so pure, and it's not overdone in my opinion. And he has some beautiful little guitar licks, little extras, like some sprinkles. Like when somebody hands you like a chocolate ice cream cone, you're like, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden they put like some multicolored sprinkles. You're like, now we're talking. Like that to me is a little bit of Chris Stapleton. So there's this song, Up to No Good, Living Down. And lo and behold, it's in the key of C, all right? And it's got C's and F's and G's. And so there's a little musical interlude. And what Joe is learning kind of this Nashville scale type thing, but not really. What I have him doing, and if you guys listen to Up to No Good, Livin' by Chris Stapleton, you want to play, there's a break in the solo. There's a break for the solo, all right? And if you're playing by yourself, you're going to have to kind of like wing it by yourself. You can simply play the chords. It's in 6/8. You know, it's got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. It's got this cool like Texas country style. All right, so what he's doing is I'm saying, well, you know, you're in the key of C. So what I want you to do is I want you to learn your F, C's, and G's because country is built around the major. Well, this song's built around the major. So what he's doing, he's learning his F chords on 3 strings only. The thin 3 strings. Gotta run, Nick. Take it easy. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you again, Nick. These 3 strings, the G, B, and E. What he's doing is learning how to phrase these chords just in these 3 strings. Like here's your F chord, here's your G chord, and here's your C chord. Now this comes from the E-shaped F chord. This comes from the E-shaped G chord. This comes from the A-shaped C, which really, this note is part of the chord, but it's hard to play. So we usually play the inner 4 strings, but hello, Terry. So there's your C. So F, G, and C. He's also learning his F chord here, his G chord here, and his C chord here. And his, let's see, his F chord here, his G chord here, and his C chord here. And so what's happening is when he's playing these rhythms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can mix and match. And you can go back and forth and dance between them. So the question is well, that's what Joe is learning. How do you learn it? And somebody asked, can you do this with the blues? And I'm gonna suck at this because I'm like, today's been a long day and I'm not in the best of mood still to play. I'm glad you like that, Dan. And so while you're playing C's, F's, and G's, you can sit and play C's, F's, and G's everywhere and move them in any order. They're going to sound great. You want to learn what they sound like. You know, they're going to sound great. So now, so what we're going to do here is talk about a major blues. Now, you can do this really easily in the major blues, especially on the 4 chord. Now, for some of you who are watching right now, you might be familiar with a song called Possum. You can't call in sick to YouTube. He wrote, can you call in sick to YouTube? I guess I can, but I don't want to let anyone down. I know that a lot of you guys enjoyed the Thursday night live feed, so I'll relax after this, don't you worry. So in a major blues, you can do this especially on the 4 chord, and there is a song that you might be familiar with called Possum. And it's a major blues. And when Trey, my man, gets to the A chord, it's an E major blues, consisting of an E, an A, a B. He throws a little bit of a G in there. But nonetheless, I'm just going to play an E major blues. I'll get the backing track going. Let's see. Just an E blues. Okay. Let's just... Hey, what's up, Scott Bernstein? What's up, my man? Scott, when are you going to fly down? We're going to do a lesson together. Give me 1 second. We should do a lesson together. Let's see. I'm not playing Possum, Scott. I'm just playing E blues. E major. I'm playing Possum. Damn it. I didn't mean to. Son of a gun. Okay. So now, Trey will sit and solo in E, major, minor, whatever he wants to do. Oh, let me hold on. So he's gonna solo, and he's gonna sit and he's gonna solo, and all of his Mixodorian fun stuff. Okay. If I was your father, I'd have a lot more bills to pay. Hey Saint. All right. So what's after the 5 chord? Oh, he goes to a G. He goes to a minor 3rd chord, a major minor 3rd. All right. So he's gonna play his Mixodorian fun stuff. He's gonna pop chord tones and everything, and then you're gonna hear when he gets to the A, he's gonna do something that we just kind of talked about for the past 20 minutes. Which is, which is, you're gonna start an A. Ah, Dave. God, you know, people watching the replay, when I stop and I yell at somebody's name, oh my God, Dan. Okay, listen. Okay, what that was people just donated. Hold on, Dan, thank you. I'll get my bird flute. David, thank you. I'll take my kids out to dinner tomorrow. That's very kind of you. You don't have to do that stuff. I mean, like, it makes me smile. It's like, oh my God, they love me. They really love me. But it's very nice. It's not necessary. But thank you, thank you, thank you. To me, it means that you're really learning, and that makes me feel good. That donation says, you know what, they're really learning, so thank you. But we got to keep pressing forward, so don't do that. Okay, so when he hits the A, what's really cool is when you're on an A chord for so long, like in this blues movement, right? If you were to like press play on an MP3 or computer or whatever, and it just started on that A, like it was in the middle of the song or somebody paused it, it would sound like that A was going for 4 beats, so the tonal center on that moment would be on A. So what Trey does is he just takes the key of A, and he'll play just like I was showing Joe. This is what Joe is learning in the blues. Well, it's what Joe is learning and how you can play it in the blues. A, right? And then he goes to B minor. Oh, no, sorry, time, I'm going to stop talking. David is still loved strictly by me. Thank you, David, honestly. So, here we go. So, you have the A, and then I'm going to play the same thing, B minor, right? There's a B minor chord. It's just like I'm playing a full B minor. It's B minor. Because in the key of A, B minor is the 2, C sharp minor, D major, E major, and you get up to F sharp minor. So you see him doing this kind of stuff, and you can do this too. It's not just him; it's the Allman Brothers. It's anytime you play major blues. So I'll sit and I'll solo an E, Mixodorian, fun stuff a little bit. When I get to the A, okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna read that. Here we go. So let's see if you can catch what what Joe would do if he was playing blues. How about B? Catch it? One more time. I'm going to do it on A and B. B. G. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Playing a little bit of possum put me in a really good mood. All right, so I hope that all made sense. Rewind this after the feed. What the whole purpose of the whole thing, Nashville scale, what Joe, now what Joe is learning, and what you can do is realize that a trick of the trade in guitar soloing is sometimes snapping out of the key, the general key of the song, and playing on the moment. And if you haven't seen my very simple video about excuse me, there are 2 ways to solo. This is the idea of it. I can sit and just play in my E scale or E Mixodorian chord tones and have super amount of fun. But sometimes you can just break away. Sometimes you can just break away in a major blues, okay? And you can change keys with the chord change. And when that A hits, you can say, guys, for the next 3.8 seconds, all of us just mess around the key of A and come back. And so I'll address that question. So you can really use that, and you should expand on the idea yourself. And that's pretty much it. So I will sit here for a little bit. I have to check the time because I do have actually a FaceTime lesson after this. Can you Hansel? What? Oh, haha, that was funny. T-shirt phrase idea. Play the damn changes. Yeah. All right. So this guy Scott Bernstein. Okay. So now the lesson's over. So if you're in the replay and you're sick of me talking, just get the f out of here. Love you. Thank you for coming. This guy right here, Scott Bernstein. I'm pulling his name down. I mean, you guys probably heard. I've known this kid for. Jeez, that's how long, no, 20 years. And when I first started Stitch Method, him and I were texting back and forth, and he's like, it's just about playing the changes. It's just about playing the damn changes. And then there he is right there with the Stitch Method shirt, play the damn changes. I hope that you're giggling in your house right now, Scott, because nothing changes with the Stitch Method, really. Changing keys with the chord changes, that lesson is life-changing. Yes, and you can do that. Okay, Scott, Scott, I'm glad you're chuckling. Yes, you can change your key with chord changes, but you know, you have to have the feel for it. You love you too, buddy. I'll see you up in upstate New York, Scott, for your wedding and for everything I'm going up there for. So anyway, so you have to play it by ear. You have to be a musician and judge whether or not you want to break that key, and that depends on the feel of the song, how well you know your chord changes that can go into that moment, how fast the chord changes are, the general feel, your prowess. So there's no right or no wrong. It's just that's how it works. So greatest of all time, or what cool band, psychedelic. Yeah, okay. I would love to play like that. You will. Getting married in Smithtown. I know you're getting married. You're getting married in my hometown. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know why. So Scott and I, I can tell you. You guys want stories about Scott and I? Man, all I'm gonna say, Scott, is the cliff days. Just the cliffs. Hey, that mug and T-shirt. Oh yeah, right. I didn't realize. Hey, Sean, I knew you'd drop it. I mentioned that you would be here, but I didn't realize how much advertising I was doing for for Stitch Method. But I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah, Scott and I would hang out in the cliffs of Northport, and that was a damn fun time. Anyway, so we'll tell Scott stories. Sean in the house. Hey, Sean, I can't do Sean, Ian and Sean the Dawn tomorrow. I got some phone calls to make, and I feel so bad. Is the green PRS you're playing the original Stitch video guitar? That's the one I always... Yes, this is the original one that I picked up when I was just like, you know, I'm going to make some videos. And this is, you can see how greasy it is. Oh my god, it's so greasy. This is it right here. This is the original. I still have my freight guitar. It's sitting right there. I play it. Both of them. And I got some acoustics and stuff, but this is the one. I just carry this one around the house. I mean, I'm going to show you, but I cracked it right there. You see that? That's a nice crack right around the thing. When I first got this guitar, and it's been cracked, but it's mine. And these are P90 pickups, yes. And so, anyway, what else can we talk about for a couple more minutes? Anything on your mind? Let's talk. Oh, I miss you shooting vids. I could shoot some vids in my living room. Oh yeah, okay. So Scott's saying my gold top Les Paul. Well, Scott, if you bought the Blues Masterclass, you'd see that mother effer. No, I'm kidding. It's there. Picking hand. Okay, can you talk about that? And what's it? Hold on. Dutch. I want to see what Dutch's question. Excuse me. Ian, last time you talked about a picking hand being open or closed. Oh yeah, well that okay. Okay, so honestly, that well, that's a great question. I usually play with an open picking hand like this, and I rest and I brace, and I'm a bracer, and I move my hand. I move this unit a lot as I move, but then sometimes. I didn't. So sometimes. Sometimes you see bluegrass players or even like Trey with a closed wrist and they move and closed hands and they move from their wrist. I don't think one is either better than the other. I think it's just a comfort level. I will tell you that like I admire guitar players that do both, and I don't think I don't think that there's any big difference. It's what will I mean, I'm trying to think. It's what's comfortable for you. I teach, bracing style because that's usually how I do it. But when I started playing some bluegrass guitar and having the open wrist, I could play a little bit more of like a chord tone, like a chord melody type thing with a closed wrist. So I think that made sense. Where's your cat? Oh, Terry, my cat died in October. Man, fudge. That sucks to think about. That sucks. All right. I have listened to Mo. I've been to several Mo shows. Scott Bernstein will tell you, he's there, that I've definitely listened to Mo. I like them. Scott, my friend, loves them. But yes, I've seen them multiple times. And I'll tell you a quick story about a Mo show. Uh, Poster is dead. Yes. Um, so I was visiting my friend Dave, who went to SUNY Rochester. SUNY Rochester. It's okay, Terry. Go ahead, put me in a bad mood, buddy. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. It's fine. I'm over it. Still hurts a little. Stings. So I went to Rochester to visit my friend Dave, and we got tickets to go see a Mo show. And so we took a taxi there, and there was a huge line of people waiting to get in. And the taxi door opened up, and as the taxi door opened up, the door for the venue opened up, and like we just walked right in, and we were like, "Oh my god!" And we went right to the front row, and so we sat right in the front row, hands on the speakers, and and we watched Mo the entire night. And then right at the end, Rob handed us the set list, and I was like, "This is the best!" And then the whole cab ride home, we were laughing about how we got in there first, and then the night took a really dark, twisted turn. I think we were both a little inebriated, and we went to bed. He was on his bed. I was sleeping on a sleeping bag on his floor, and his roommate walked in the middle of the night and just like stumbled and drunk and like laid on top of me if I was as if I was a mattress. And I was like, "What the F is going on?" And I like threw him off me. He was like, "Oh, sorry." And I was like, "Get me the F out of here. Like, this is the weirdest night ever." Anyway, so that was my Mo story. I had a drunk guy collapse on me and lay on me like a mattress. That's what I remember more of that than I do the concert. Anyway, so could you do an example of playing changes with borrowed chords? Well, that's kind of what we were doing, but it's not easy. It's not as easy as a live little feed. Can you show how to start learning hybrid picking? Dan. I'm not a hybrid picker. Like, I mean, I'm not one that holds a pick and plucks like this. But you can try on Sean. Wait, let's see. Wait, Sean. What are you doing for Valentine's Day? I don't know. What are we doing for Valentine's Day, Sean? For hybrid picking, I'm not a hybrid picker, and I wish I could say like you can find. I'm sure you can find some YouTube guys who teach hybrid picking. But I'm just a picker. I'm a flat picker, and I can like play my fingers, but I consider myself a flat picker. No, I have not listened to them. Do we just play the same chord shapes in? Yes, if you're in E flat tuning, the question is, do you play the same chord shapes in E flat tuning? Yeah, absolutely. You know, you'd play this. This would be an E flat, but the thing is, it's not like you would just treat it as an E. You know, because it's the guitar being detuned sounds awesome, and it's growly, and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix and Guns N' Roses, they all do it, and it actually sounds really good. Garrett, I'm gonna get to that question in 1 second, I promise. But you know, you have to say this is an E flat, and this is an E, and this is a G flat. But you just think of it as normal chords if you're playing by yourself, or you're playing with a backing track that has those questions. So one of the questions was, what makes Jerry Garcia so good? And to answer another question really quickly, Austin Finch, show us a pretty chord. For Mr. Sean Daniel, I'll play a D major 7th. That's a pretty chord. All right. So what makes Jerry Garcia so good? A couple things. Number one, he practiced a lot. I mean, like, when you watch the documentaries, he was practicing 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, and and Scott's right, and he plays the damn changes, but he was a banjo champion at 15, and he was saying how he practiced his scales and practiced being so good, and then he wanted to get into a realm where it didn't matter about technique, but rather counted more about like the feeling of it. And the thing is like every video you see of Jerry Garcia with a guitar, he's playing it. He played nonstop, and he truly had like a good idea of what direction to take his solos in. When somebody says, you know, I don't think Jerry Garcia had perfect pitch. If I'm wrong, he might say, you know, I had perfect pitch. I don't think that's the case. I think that Jerry knew where to go. He knew how to play the changes. He knew all the different intervals that he liked. He knew the flavors of it, and he was very, very good. And this is the most important thing. He was very good at rendering his solos in real time, which I'll make a video about that. Like how to render your solo in real time where you're relaxed, you're not calculating things. That was his art. He was so relaxed, and he didn't need to think anything through. He could play what his directional intent was, and I hope that made sense. Because he didn't know anything more than we know as guitar players. He just did it really well. He did it really well. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. Okay, cool. All right, Garrett, I'm glad I did that. No problem. All right, guys. Well, we're at 30 minutes, and I'm dead tired from a day of fighting on the phone nonstop. But I won. What are some ways or tips to come up with cool progression changes when noodling? You know, man, I wish I had an hour to talk to you guys. Dutch, I'm gonna have some videos about that. Okay, I don't mean to. I can't address it in 30 seconds. Yeah, he knew what he wanted to say when to say it. That's a good point, Dean. So I'm gonna see you guys all later. I'm gonna get about I don't know 36 hours of rest because I need it now. What's your email, Stitch? I'll tell you, buddy. It's first of all, last name is STICH. It's STICH method, METHOD at gmail.com. I really do appreciate all of you being here. This is kind of like cathartic for me, and again, it's awesome. So hopefully you put a smile on some of your faces. I hope that you go play some major blues and change those chords. And like Scott say, play those damn changes. Scott, I need you to give me a call, honestly. Volume 2 is out. Volume 2 of what? Wait, what I missed, Sean? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. You all rock. Thank you again, Dan and David. You didn't have to do that, but that was awesome. And somebody said more live streams. Okay. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blah, 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 blah. Bye.